Did Paul say what he wanted?
No, I don't know what he wants. All I know is that he's in the defense room and he wants to talk to you privately. Look, Jazz, he insists that it's very important that his mother not know that he's here.
Well, Miss Griffin, are you ready to resume the defense?
Your Honor, I'd like to make a request for a brief recess, if I may.
Already? You've only called one witness so far.
I realize that, sir, but something's been brought to my attention which could affect the outcome of my entire case.
All right. Court will recess for 10 minutes. Jurors may remain in their seats.
What's going on?
Barbara, I can't tell you right now. Just wait here.
Monica, if you know something about that night at Ruxton Hills, I think it's very important that you do tell the police just for Barbara's sake.
Dusty, I don't know what to do. My mother made me swear not to tell anyone about this. I didn't understand why until Detective Franklin started asking all those questions about stocks. And now I know why she was in such big trouble. Now she's dead.
Monica, all right. Monica. Oh, boy. Let me... Can I get you a glass of water or something, okay? Excuse me.
Hi.
Hi.
How is she?
This is really bad. She's not doing very well at all. I'm gonna go get her some water, okay? Just talk to her. Keep an eye on her, all right? Thank you.
Oh, Dusty, I just heard about Corinne Lawrence.
Yeah.
Is Monica all right?
Monica's not doing well at all. She's right there, okay? Excuse me.
Hi.
Emily, I thought you were with Holden.
Well, I was, except the police called and said that they wanted him down at the station for more questioning.
I'll come directly to the point. Did you see anyone else up at the Ruxton Hills house that night?
Or to be more specific, did you see Tony Reyes there?
Yeah, I saw him there.
The Emmy Award winner, As the World Turns. This portion brought to you today by April Fresh Downy, bursting with fluffy softness, and by New Mountain Dawn, the fresh new way to cut grease.
Why didn't you tell us you saw Tonio up at
First of all,
Ruxton
you
Hills
never
house?
asked me, and second, I didn't know anything about Tonio being a suspect.
Because we had no proof that he was even at the scene of the crime.
I think we better get Tony Reyes down here right now.
Is he at his office?
No, he had an outside meeting, and I don't know when he's going to be back.
I'll get on it right away.
Thank you, Roy. All right, let's go over this one more time. What exactly did you see that night?
It's simple. Just as I was about to leave, I saw Tonio move around to the back of the house.
And that's it?
Yep.
Are you sure that's all of it this time, Holden?
Yes. I told Tonio that if you guys asked me outright that I was going to tell you the truth. But since the question never came up...
You know, I thought you would have learned your lesson from the Channing investigation. You may be in the clear legally, but you've got a lot to answer to morally, Buster.
Am I free to go?
Yeah, you're free to go. Lucky for you, we don't have any reason to hold you.
Okay, I'm about to become a full partner in this business, and I was just wondering about a few things. Let's just say that, Mr. Reyes, by some chance, was unable to continue in his present condition. What would my status be?
You'd be in sole control of Montgomery and Associates until such time as Mr. Reyes or Craig Montgomery himself were to return.
What did the police want to talk to Holden about?
I don't know, Tonio. I was in the office with him, and Margot Hughes called. She said that they wanted to ask him more questions about the information he volunteered the night that James was murdered. Anyway, I gotta run, okay? If you talk to Holden, please ask him to call me.
Certainly.
Thanks. I'll see you later.
Tonio, what are we going to do?
Meg, not here and not now. We don't know what they wanted to talk to Holden about. And now that Corinne is dead, there's no way they can link James to me anyway.
No, but what if they find out?
Look, I have to get back to the office.
No, Tonio, please, I want to go with
Meg, you stay here and go back to your work and act as though nothing has happened. I'll talk to you later.
I don't know.
What's going on with Meg now?
I don't know, but I'm gonna just go see if I can help.
Okay. Here you go.
Rusty, I'm really sorry to lay all this on you. I know it's none of
Are
your...
you... Monica, no, not at all. I mean, of course not. It's very important, as a matter of fact, that you do tell someone, because Barbara's defense is going to be starting soon, maybe even today.
I don't know if it'll help or not.
Can I ask you what it is? I mean...
It's not what. It's who. Antonio Reyes was at the Ruxton Hills house that night.
Does my mom know I'm here?
No, Paul, what is it you want to tell me?
I need to talk to you about the gun.
Your mother's gun?
Yes.
The one she kept at home or the one at Fashions?
At home.
The murder weapon?
Right. You see, Jessica, I knew she kept that gun on her bedside table. And one day, I went in and I took the bullets out.
Why?
I was scared.
Scared of what?
Mom, you didn't mean what I heard you say the other night. That you would kill Dad, did you?
I don't know what I'd do if I thought you were in danger, Paul.
Mom, I don't want either of you to get hurt.
Paul, tell me, what were you afraid of?
I was afraid that she might get hurt.
So the gun wasn't loaded?
Well, not exactly.
What do you mean, not exactly?
All right. Remember the day that I snuck out of Fashions on the back of that delivery truck? The day that my dad found Andy and I at the ridge at Lucinda's? That was the day that I found out that my dad actually kidnapped Lily Walsh. Now, I don't know why exactly, but I just had a bad feeling that something very terrible was gonna happen. So I went back to the apartment, I got the gun, and I had the gun and the bullets with me that night at Ruxton Hills. I reloaded it just in case.
So that's how the gun got there?
Right.
Paul, then what did you do with it?
Well, I put it in my jacket. And then Emily and I left, and I forgot the jacket on the stairs. Jessica, I know I should have come forward sooner, but I was scared.
Look, Paul, okay, I understand, okay? But I'm gonna ask you something really serious right now, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I hope it doesn't come to this. But if it does, would you be willing to testify on the stand what you just told me? Under oath.
Yes, yeah, I guess so. But
what, Paul?
Well, there's something else you need to know.
Anyway, all the little candies and things, how so beautiful for Christmas. The thing is what to do with this little
I saw your car driving. Hi. Were you more Christmas shopping?
Yes. I'm not quite finished, but it's a start. Thank you.
Careful.
Boy, it looks like some serious baking going on in
Oh,
here.
well, you know, Christmas, Christmas, Christmas.
Mom, I'm all done out in the barn if you want me to do something in here.
Well, you could do something. You could test those little cookies on there and tell me if they're good.
Well, I don't need to test them to know that they are good, but I will just the same.
Good.
Look, why don't you go and rest in the parlor? You've been on your feet all morning.
Oh, I don't know.
Why don't you?
Still so much to do.
Well, just go rest. We'll all pitch in tonight.
Well, maybe I will take a little break. Thank you. That'd be nice.
Would you like some tea? I'll bring it in to you.
Yes, wouldn't that be lovely? I think I'll have a little cookie, too. And don't eat them all, like me.
What are you hiding? What's this? It's not Christmas yet.
Well, it suddenly dawned on me that the day I came back for Holden's wedding was your birthday. Now, why didn't you remind me?
I was hoping no one would remember.
Why?
I don't know. Memories of last year. Luna died on my birthday. And Franny's birthday is Christmas Eve. I didn't want to sort of remind us of
I
everything.
thought we had a pact that we were going to come to peace with our past and go on with the future,
Yes. But of course your birthday is Christmas Eve, and that's reason to celebrate.
Yes, it is.
Careful.
Oh, hi, everybody. Hello. Thought I'd come home and see how Mama's doing.
She's in the parlor resting.
Oh, that's good. So it looks like somebody went shopping here.
Yes, I was. I was in town looking for a studio.
Oh, did you find anything?
I have some leads I'll follow this afternoon. Excuse me, I'll take this tea to your mother.
Okay.
So, since I haven't talked to you, I was wondering what happened when you went after Holden yesterday.
Well, I tracked him down to his office, and I confronted him there point blank, asked him if he had seen Tonio up at Ruxton Hills the night that Stenbeck was murdered.
And what did he say?
Well, he didn't get a chance to say anything, because Tonio came in and interrupted us, said that Holden had a phone call, so I had no choice but to leave. So I went and found Meg at the hospital, and she stonewalled it, and I finally thought I'd give one more shot at Emily down at the courthouse, see if she could tell me something, and she had nothing to say. So now I guess it's up to Holden and his conscience.
And Meg's?
Yeah. It was clear that she was terrified.
Seth, do you think that Tonio could have killed James Stenbeck?
No, you're asking the wrong guy. I'm too prejudiced to be objective. What scares me is that Meg acts like she thinks he might have done it. So whatever they're withholding might be just the thing to help Barbara Ryan, if it's not too late.
Kim, where in the world have you been all morning?
Well, I had to stay at the television studio. I had to do my show today.
Of course, I forgot.
Where's Earl?
Well, he had to go to the Argus. Some very important message came in from the headquarters at police station. It's something that I know is going to help Barbara, I think. Anyway, I don't know. Jessica just called us, but I don't know why.
How's Tom doing?
He's doing very well. I wish you weren't doing quite so well.
I've been called as a character witness for
No,
Barbara.
you really? Why? I wish... Why didn't they call me? I mean, I would have been a wonderful character witness. Tom would not interrupt me.
Bob was so upset with the testimony he had to give yesterday in court. But he had to tell the truth. I just hope that Barbara has told Jessica everything and there aren't going to be any more surprises.
Greg, what is going on? Why did Jessica ask for a recess?
Barbara, I don't know all the details, but I'm sure that as soon as Jessica gets here, she'll give you all the answers.
Hi, darling. Hi, sweetie. Hi. How are you doing? Oh, fine. Well, listen, I think there's only two things that you can do at this point. One is to be sure you keep a positive thought. And the other is to be sure that you are telling the truth. Sweetheart, please learn from my mistakes. Don't hold anything back. No matter how much you think the truth is going to hurt someone, lies hurt even more.
All right, what'd you find out from headquarters?
First of all, Corinne Lawrence is dead.
What?
Apparent suicide down in Martinique. Second of all, I got wind there might have been somebody else up at the house when Stenbeck died. But I couldn't find out who.
All right, listen, I'll let you take over here. You handle the cross-examination. I've left some notes here you might want to refer to. I'm going to find out what the hell's going on here.
Tom, wait a minute.
I can't right now, Mom.
I wish I knew.
What I don't understand is, if Paul took the gun to Ruston Hills that night, then why were his fingerprints found on it?
I really don't know.
Listen, do me a favor. Take Paul to the coffee shop downstairs, and if I need him, I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right. Be seated. Are you ready to resume now, Counselor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Don't close the door, Mr. Reyes. And don't bother taking off your coat either.
What is it now, Detective Franklin?
In light of new evidence that we've just discovered, I have to ask you to come downtown with me to answer further questions in the James Stenbeck murder case.
So you were aware of the time James Stenbeck deliberately plotted to drive the defendant insane?
Yes. She couldn't prove it.
What happened?
James had Barbara committed to a mental institution.
And what was his reason?
He was trying to get custody of their son.
Objection, Your Honor. This line of questioning is completely irrelevant.
Your Honor, if you will allow me to proceed, I will show that it is entirely relevant.
Overruled.
Mrs. Hughes, what happened after the truth finally came out?
Well, Barbara tried to get Paul back.
Would you say that at that time she was very much afraid that her ex-husband would in fact get custody of their son?
Very much so.
Would you say that she was even desperate?
Objection, Your Honor. That's asking for speculation on the part of the witness.
Sustained.
So after he sadistically tried to drive the defendant insane, attempted to murder the man she loved, and almost succeeded in having her committed to a mental institution for life, all in an effort to gain custody of their son. What did Ms. Ryan do to retaliate against Mr. Stenbeck?
Well, she didn't do anything. She just wanted to get Paul back and for James to leave them alone.
And did she go about this through legal, non-violent channels?
Yes, she did.
Mrs. Hughes, how long have you known the defendant?
All of her life.
And would you say that she's a non-violent person?
Yes.
Do you think she's capable of murder?
Objection.
No,
Your Honor, counsel is asking for an opinion from a lady.
Sustained. Please avoid such questions, Miss Griffin.
So, we've established that the defendant withheld certain facts pertaining to the whereabouts of her son while he was with his father. And we've also established the fact that she withheld these facts for a very valid reason. Now, Mrs. Hughes, would you say the defendant is an honest woman?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, has she ever willingly lied about an important issue?
Well,
I remind you, Mrs. Hughes, you're under oath.
yes, she did. But it was in relation to an entirely private matter.
Well, let me ask you this, Mrs. Hughes. Would you describe the defendant as a loving and caring mother?
Absolutely, there is no question about it. Paul has always come first in her life.
And have you ever known her to do anything to jeopardize their future together or risk their relationship in any way?
No, not at all.
Thank you, Mrs. Hughes. No further questions.
Mr. Hamilton, you wish to cross-examine?
Yes, Your Honor. Mrs. Hughes, you must be very proud of the career accomplishments that Ms. Ryan has made, are you not?
Yes.
Would you say that the defendant has changed a great deal in the last few years?
Well, I suppose in some ways, yes.
After all, in just a very short time, she's become one of the most famous fashion designers in this country. A rather ruthless profession for a woman to succeed in, wouldn't you say?
Sustained.
Mrs. Hughes, did you ever hear the defendant threaten the deceased? Well, did you?
Kindly answer the question, Mrs. Hughes.
Yes.
And what did she say?
She said that she would kill James if she could, in order to protect Paul from ever being taken away again.
Were you alone with her at this time?
No, my husband was with me.
And were you in shock?
Well, yes, but we knew
Well,
that
did either you or your husband point out to her how such an act could affect her son?
Well, of course we did.
And what did she say?
She said that if James were dead, then Paul would be free of him.
Thank you. No further questions.
So you say a man's fingerprints were found in Corinne Lawrence's room?
Yes, I presume them to be Nick's. You know what's interesting? Corinne makes one last phone call to Monica and she fingers two people. Nick and Tonio Reyes. And we know that Tonio Reyes was up at the Ruxton Hills house now.
Your money's been on Tonio Reyes all along, hasn't it?
Look, Tom, I don't want to ruin your first big case as DA, but yes, it has. I know that we don't share the opinion of Barbara that she's innocent. Look, I think Barbara's capable of a lot of things, but not murder. What is it?
Nothing.
Tell me what.
No, nothing. It's
Say it. What is it?
It just reminded me of another murder trial, that's all. One where I put you on the stand.
Well, that's behind us now. A lot of things are.
Are they? Look, you better get back to the courthouse. Keep me posted on Tonio Reyes, will you?
Yeah.
Tom took the news we're about to bust his case wide open.
He doesn't seem worried. As a matter of fact, I keep getting the feeling that he hopes we're right.
Anything else?
Yeah, he brought up that trial I told you about. You know, the one where I lost my first baby. You know, we were at loggerheads over the guilty party on that one, too.
And?
I was wrong.
Margot, I hope you're ready for this.
What?
Well, this had better be brief. I have a business to run, and I have a full schedule of appointments this afternoon.
Well, then I think you should call your office and cancel them. Because this could end up keeping you away from your office for a long, long time.
I've got to spend this lunch break with Barbara. Look, why don't you call that other character witness and make sure they're standing by?
Sure.
Is Paul all right?
Yeah. Listen, are you gonna call him and Barbara?
Oh, only as a last resort. I just hope there are no more surprises. Okay. Barbara, why didn't you tell me about this thing with Tom and
Because
Margaret?
I didn't think it would come out. It has nothing to do with James'
But Barbara,
murder.
I should have known. If I had known, I never would have asked him that question. Now, as it is, I walked into a self-made trap, and the jury knows you lied once before.
I'm sorry, Jessica.
Sorry isn't going to cut it anymore, Barbara. Now, your neck is on the line here, and I am doing my best to try to save it. So if there's anything else I should know, I want you to tell me, and I want you to tell me now, or I won't be responsible for the consequences.
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you today by New Love's Deluxe, with the unique night guard system and truly tear-proof taping, and by rich, delicious, mountain-grown Folgers crystals. We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
Well, I'm sure glad all that's gone on hasn't put a damper on Mama's holiday spirit.
Seth, you're happy, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Can't you tell?
Oh, yeah, I was just wondering, you know, I mean, if you can just show it more, maybe some of it will rub off on... Oh, no, not me, just around in general. Seth, come on. You silly.
Well, you don't have to go already, do you?
Yes, I need to get back into town and look at that studio, and then I need to go home.
I'm going to leave you two alone. Seriously.
Is something on your mind?
You're all so close in your family. And no matter how hard everyone tries, I don't feel the same in mine.
It'll happen. Give it time. Don't you want to open your present?
Sorry, forgot. I'm sorry.
I bought it to replace the one that I smashed.
It's lovely, thank you.
Now, Mama, come on.
I must be on my way.
Bye, everyone. I want you to sit down. You have done enough.
You're
Now,
off,
sit.
Sabrina. Sabrina, thank you for all your
Bye.
help.
Very well.
Oh, my. Still no call from Lily. I was hoping that she'd call and say that she and Dusty would be out for Christmas.
Well, Mama, I really don't think that's going to happen with Holden and Emily here.
Speaking of Holden, did either of you two know that he was up at Ruxton Hills when James Stenbeck was killed? Yeah, I can tell by your expression that you do. Why didn't you tell me?
Well, we didn't want to upset you.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you know that you haven't told me?
Yes, there is something else. I wanted you all to hear this from me first. I just came back from the police station, and I told them that I saw Tonio up there that night.
What?
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Now, Emily knew nothing about this. I just told her just a little while ago.
Well, what about Meg?
Well, Meg was the reason I didn't come out with it in the first place. But honestly, I have to tell you, I don't think that Tonio killed James Stenbeck.
Did Meg know that Tonio was up there?
Yes, she knew, but she was very frightened, so don't blame her. All right? She loves Tonio very much, and she was just trying to protect him. I'll get it.
Hello? Yeah, hold on just a second. Emily, it's for you.
Hello?
Boy, am I ever glad I found you.
Paul?
Yeah, I've been trying to get you everywhere. This is my last hope.
Where are you, at school?
No, I'm at the courthouse.
Paul, I thought your mother didn't want you there.
She doesn't know I'm here.
Paul, what are you doing there? I don't think that's such a good idea, do you?
Emily, I know. But I don't think I have any choice. I know we had a pact, but I have to do this for Mom. I just wanted you to know.
I don't believe this. I mean, I can't believe this. Time is running out for Barbara. We got a prime suspect sitting in the interrogation room. We can't do a damn thing until his lawyer gets here. Come on.
You think Jessica knows about Tonio being up in Ruxton Hills that night?
I doubt it.
You think I should go over and give her that information?
That's a good excuse.
Hello, everybody. Monica has something that she'd like to tell you guys, okay?
I really hope I'm not going to get any trouble about this. My mother made me swear never to tell anyone.
Have a seat.
It's all right. It's all right. Just tell us what you know.
Well, after the fight Mommy and I had in the Ruxton Hills house, and she left, well, I needed some time to gather myself together before I drove home. And just as I was about to start the engine to my car, another car drove in and pulled around the front. A man got out.
Did you see who it was?
Tonio Reyes. I waited until he was out of sight and then I drove away.
Excuse me, I'm Frederick Greer, attorney for Tonio Reyes.
Oh, yes, Mr. Greer, your client's waiting in the interrogation room here. Follow me.
I hope you'll give us a few minutes alone before we commence.
Well, you'll have 5 minutes, no more. Come on.
Hurry up.
Detective Franklin here. Yeah, he's right here. House for you. Greg Hadley.
Thank you very much for coming
Yes,
forward,
Greg.
Monica. Appreciate it.
Well, I didn't see any reason to hold it back now that Mommy is...
Oh, come on. Okay.
Well, let me come and I'll take your statement over here.
All right, after that, we'll go home. I'll take you.
All right. All right. Jessica wants me to go down to court, testify as a character
I
witness.
thought she also already questioned
No,
you.
she cross-examined me when Tom had me on the stand. I guess she thinks that I'm needed again. All right, I better get down there. I hate to leave you alone with Reyes.
Don't worry about it. No, really. I mean, by the time I started questioning him, I probably wouldn't let you get a word in edgewise anyway, you know. Maybe nasty of me, but I'm really looking forward to this, you know, nailing him.
Meg, why do you want me to make this phone call for you? I thought Tony went back to the office.
No, I think he's at the police station. No, come.
Why would he be at the police station?
I can't go into it right now. Just please, ask him.
Hello, is Tonio Reyes there? Oh, okay, thank you.
Well?
Yes, he's there, and
Oh,
his
God.
lawyer's there, too. What is going on?
I'm gonna go.
To the police station?
No, back to his office, and I just hope he's there.
All right. I was there. Are you satisfied?
And the blazer button?
It's mine, or at least I think it's mine.
And how did you come to lose it underneath the docks?
It must have come off when I met James there. We got into a fight.
How long had you known Stenbeck was in town?
Since the evening of my wedding reception, James called me and told me to meet him under the docks. He then informed me that he was the prime financial backer of Juro Corporation, and as such was now my boss at Montgomery & Associates.
Why didn't you come to us then?
Because James blackmailed me. He told me if I didn't keep silent and cooperate with him, he'd tell everyone here that I was his contact in Oakdale. And I'm not stupid enough to think that anyone would think I was innocent.
What about the stocks?
James instructed me to purchase them as he was still trying to take over Lucinda's company. He also involved Corinne Lawrence in that scheme.
All right, why don't we go back to the night that James Stenbeck was murdered? Did you call Lucinda Walsh to find out James Stenbeck's whereabouts so you could go kill him?
Yes. I could no longer live the life that James was forcing me to live. He even wanted me to help him kidnap his son.
And did you go to the house armed?
Yes, I took a gun that I keep at my office.
And what happened when you got there?
I went up to the front door. It was locked. I looked in a window. I didn't see anyone there, so I decided to go around to the back and see if I could find another entrance. At that point, I heard someone pull out, so I ducked into some bushes. I had almost reached one of the rear windows when I heard James' voice cry out from inside. He said, "You, of all people." That was followed immediately by 2 shots. I ran and cut my hand on a limb of a tree. That's the blood you found on my raincoat. I got into my car and got out of there as fast as I could.
And that's it?
No, not quite. As I was leaving, I looked in my rearview mirror and I saw Barbara Ryan at the edge of the driveway.
Barbara.
What about Meg?
Meg never went anywhere near that house, and that's the truth.
How do you expect us to believe anything you've told us so far when you've been withholding evidence all this time?
Look, I lied because I know that everyone in this town would love to railroad me into prison with you and Lucinda leading the pack.
Listen here, Mr. Reyes. You may be innocent of murder, but you're guilty of obstructing justice, and that is not a charge that you will wiggle out of easily, sir.
I went up to that house to murder James Stenbeck. But thank God someone beat me to it, and that is the truth.
All right, sweetheart. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Hi, son. What are you doing home? I thought you were going to swim practice.
I skipped it. Did you see Paul at the courthouse this morning?
No, I didn't.
He said he was cutting class to go there. I'm gonna go try and find him.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Mom, he's my best friend. In spite of everything...
In spite of everything? What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. I've got to go to court.
Andy,
Hello, Mother.
Sabrina, hi.
How did it go in court today?
Not well.
With everything that's been going on, you and I haven't had much of a chance to talk.
No, I guess we haven't.
I know how much you love Franny. And things haven't been the same between us since you found out about me and Seth. But I thought, now that she's gone, you and I could start to close the gap between us and put things right.
You know, Franny and I have been through an awful lot together. I not only love her, I like her with all my heart. Sabrina, you're my daughter, and because of that, there's a bond of love that I feel for you, but you've been here almost a year, and I don't know you really, not at all. And that's because you haven't let me. I really need to know somebody before I can like them. I hope that you and I get there someday. But it really depends on you, because I have tried to reach out to you, and you have been unyielding. You put up a defensive wall.
Yes, I know that, but I was a displaced person when I came here, and I didn't fit in. It wasn't an easy adjustment to make.
No, I'm sure it wasn't. It wasn't easy for any of us.
And I couldn't speak to you and Father about Seth. I felt too guilty. But Seth and I want to have a future now. And I desperately want the support of my family. I'm willing to work very hard for it. All I ask is that you give me a chance.
So, you were fully aware that Ms. Ryan knew that Paul was with his father all that time?
Yes, I was.
Why didn't you confront her about it?
Well, there were 2 reasons for that. One, I was sure that Stenbeck was using Paul to keep Miss Ryan in line, and I didn't want to jeopardize the boy's safety in any way. And secondly, I was hoping that it would eventually lead us to Stenbeck.
I see. So, no charges were ever brought against the defendant?
No, no charges.
So you believe that she had a very valid reason for withholding these facts?
Yes. Yes, I do, and I'd like to add that in all the time that I have known the defendant, it was the only time that she ever lied to me.
Detective Munson, in your professional opinion, do you think she's lying now about her memory lapse?
Objection.
Your Honor, I'm asking the professional opinion of a detective.
Objection overruled. Witness may answer the question.
In my professional opinion, no, I do not think that she is lying.
And in your professional opinion, do you think she's capable of murder?
Absolutely not.
Thank you, Detective Munson. No further questions.
Does counsel wish to cross-examine?
Yes, Your Honor. Detective Munson, in all the time that you've known the defendant, would you say your relationship has been anything other than professional?
We were close, if that's what you mean.
How close?
Objection! The question is totally irrelevant.
On the contrary, Your Honor, I think it's highly relevant. How could the detective give a professional opinion if he's been involved with the defendant?
Overruled. Please answer the question, Detective Munson.
We were extremely close.
Thank you. No more questions.
Wait just a minute. Do you think that you can be impartial given your relationship with the defendant, the animosity of that relationship?
Detective Munson, you are to step down now.
Have you seen Maggie around at all?
No. She left about an hour ago.
How come?
I don't know. She had me call the police station looking for Tonio.
Well, did she go down to the police station?
No, she went to his office. What is the matter with her? How's Monica?
She's fine. I took her to the police station and I brought her home.
Is it going to help Barbara's case?
I hope it will. Excuse me, okay? I'm gonna go speak with Holden.
Don't start anything, Dusty.
Look, I know that there's no love lost between you and I, but I just wanted to let you know I cared a lot about your sister Megan. I think that she's in for some trouble, all right?
I don't know what you're talking about, all right?
Holden. Monica went to the police, and she told them that she saw Tonio up by the Ruxin Hills house the night of the murder.
I can take care of my sister by myself. I don't need your help,
I just
all right?
thought you'd like to know.
Donovan, as long as you're here, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice. Next time you got something to say to me, don't go running behind my back to my wife.
Excuse me?
Just say it to my face.
What are you talking about, Holden?
Don't play dumb with me, all right? You went whining to Emily when you saw my footprints in the snow up at the knoll.
Holden, Millie and I know that you got a house up there with Emily, all right? I just want to let your wife know that you're not welcome anywhere near my house.
I'm gonna walk anywhere I damn please.
I'm telling you right now, you keep it up, you're gonna get trouble from me, because you're driving Lily crazy.
Well, that's our problem. But then again, maybe it's yours.
What did they say? They've agreed to release you and not press charges for now.
What are the charges?
Well, it's a Class 4 felony, obstructing justice by furnishing false information, possessing knowledge material to the subject at issue.
What are the consequences?
Imprisonment from 1 to 3 years, plus 2 years parole and a hefty fine. But, Tonio, what could be worse in your case is that the Immigration Department may consider you to be an undesirable alien, which might lead to deportation.
Is this really necessary, Detective? And you already have the murder weapon.
I'm just following standard procedure. Thank you.
Mr. Greer, thank you for your help.
I'll be in touch. I will say what we discussed sounds promising.
Good.
Tonio, I've been beside myself ever since I found out you had gone to the police station. What happened?
I told them everything.
Everything? Oh, God. Oh, what's gonna happen to me?
Typical. Always thinking of yourself.
Tonio, tell me. Tell me what's going on. Are they gonna press charges?
Listen to me, Meg. The charges are very serious. But I've talked it over with my lawyer, and we've come up with an alternative plan. It could be the way out for both of us.
What is it?
I'm sorry that Tom had to hit you with that question.
Yeah, so am I, for Barbara's sake. How'd it go with Reyes?
Oh, he confessed to everything, you know? Spilled his guts, except for about killing Stenbeck. He said that when he got to the house, he heard James say, "You of all people." And then he heard 2 shots, and as he was hightailing it away, he saw Barbara Ryan in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, well, we knew Barbara was there. I mean, can you bring any charges against him?
Oh, well, if it's up to me, they sure will. I want my satisfaction.
Hey, Margot.
Yeah?
Do you buy his story?
Well, I'll tell you, I followed up on my instincts that he was covering up, and I was right. And now that I've heard his story, those same instincts make me believe he's telling the truth.
So Reyes admitted to being in the house and seeing Barbara there.
Well, that's something we'll have to explore in a little more detail. I want to talk to Reyes myself.
Reyes admitted being there, but he denied shooting Stenbeck. That's just about it.
All right, well, Paul's in the defense room? Mm-hmm. Looks like I don't have any choice.
What are you doing here? Your mother left hours ago.
I know. I'm actually looking for Paul.
You know he wouldn't be here. His mother didn't want him to be here.
I know she didn't, but he was really insistent on coming. I just hope...
You just hope what?
Nothing. No.
Barbara, after the turn of events today, we're going to have to do something drastic if we're ever going to salvage this case.
Like what?
Oh, I didn't mean... Paul.
What the hell is Paul doing
Barbara,
here?
he came to me. He has information that I want the jury to hear. Now, he wants
Absolutely
to testify.
not. No,
Barbara,
you
listen
cannot
to
do
me.
that.
Listen to me. It is my duty to defend you as best I can. Now, you hired me, and you'd be within your legal rights to let me go at any time. But until that time, I'm going to do my job.
Everything is going to be okay now.
What do you mean by that?
Are you ready to call your next witness, Counselor?
Yes, we are, Your Honor. The defense calls Paul Stenbeck.
Raise your left hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
This portion of As the World Turns has been brought to you by Nabisco Shredded Wheaten Bran, the high-fiber cereal with no added sugar or salt.